Right down.
Crazy rich white people, that's what it is. Crazy rich white people.
Oh, this is so cool.
Sorry about that, guys. Right, rewind. Wow, wow, wow. What a fantastic job these guys have done. Absolutely. All I can say is you both are absolutely sensational. And our families, both our families, all our friends, just love you so much. Right, I want to speak to my new son, Adam. Adam, welcome into our family. We all love you already, so it's easy for me to say that. And Becky, together you were both wonderful. But Adam, you're not getting away lightly because you've another 8 girls to look after as well. Where are you, girls? So, well done, Adam. Thank you so much. You've done a fantastic job today. Right, what I want to talk about now is my beautiful young daughter, Becky. And I want to take you back till she was 1 year old. And there was a thunderstorm one night in England, and it was really bad. It was raining, pouring down. And Annette got out of bed and she thought, I've got to go check on the girls because I'm really worried. And she walked in all the bedrooms, and then she went to Becky's. and you won't believe it, the roof had come in and it was pouring on her tummy. And she was in the cot, and she was laughing and joking and thing. Mum said, "This is the happiest girl I've ever seen in my life. Well done, Bex." Another time, I was in the garage and I started the car up, and we were backing the car out of the garage, and I heard this bang. I thought, God, what's that? I got out, walked to the back of the car. Becky was there, up to her head, like this. I said, Becky, you shouldn't walk behind the cars. So I pulled her out. Pulled her out, and she says, "Daddy, I don't love you no more. You've run me over." Well, I was going to tell her off, but my heart melted, and I just had to cuddle her. So wonderful, so wonderful. What I'd like to say as well is I'd like to say a big thank you to all the grooms, bridesmaids, little girls, little boys, because they looked absolutely amazing. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. I have a little story for you now. When my mum passed away, she left a wedding ring to my sister. My sister's a jeweller, and what she did, she took the wedding ring and she took the diamond out of the ring. She actually melted down the ring and then took the diamond and put the heart into a ring. And they sent it all the way from England to Becky today. It's a necklace, darling.
Love you.
Okay. Right, I'm coming to the end of my speeches because Don's got to come on, haven't you, Don? So please be upstanding for Adam and Rebecca, and let's have a toast for the wedding day. To Adam and Rebecca. Adam and Rebecca. Cheers, guys. Cheers.
Big round of applause for Vic, please, everybody. Who's ready for a best man speech? Everybody get a cheer? Here he is. Everybody welcome. Don White, everyone.
Thank you. Can you all hear me? Good. First of all, I'd just like to echo Vic's words. What a fantastic day. We've been blown away. We just didn't know what was coming next, you know? And now you've got me. And as you know, or you found out, I am the best man. It's no big deal. But I'm also stepfather to the groom, which puts me in a unique situation. Now, I could stand here and tell you about Adam, because I've known him since he was 8 years old. And if I was to tell you every story that upset me, enraged me, totally cheesed me off, I'd be here for 3 days. But I haven't got that much time. But I will enlighten you on a few things. Okay? So, this is the best man talking. Adam was a gentle child until he went to school. And heading towards his teenage years, let's just say, he was a little troublesome. And didn't want to go, basically. So on a Sunday night, I would try and persuade him, you've got to go, son. You've got to go to school. It's important. You need education. Tell me you'll give me 100% when you go to school, please. And Adam, of course, agreed reluctantly and went to school. And all was well until the Friday. I'd go and pick him up, and somebody would say, "Could you go and see Adam's form teacher?" Yes. And he would say, "We've had some problems with Adam this week." I says, "I know, but he told me he'd give it 100%. He said, "Well, that's technically true. He did 10% on Monday, 20% on Tuesday, 30% on Wednesday, and then he wound down for the weekend." But we got him through school. Right? We got him. I have to say, by the way, his sister was no trouble. She was a breath of fresh air. But, you know, once he left school, we're thinking, oh, what's he going to do? He'd got the qualifications, the basics. But he showed an interest in cars. Wanted to drive as, you know, as soon as possible, pass his test. Fine, great. And he wanted to sell cars. And unknown to us, he'd made his own CV out, and he'd passed it to all the car dealerships in Newcastle, as many as he could, you know. But nobody wanted him. And he said, "I want to be a car salesman." And I'm thinking, oh God. I had this picture in my mind of this guy standing with a sheepskin jacket on, trilby hat, corduroy trousers, scuffed brogues, tyre kicking a Ford Escort, trying to sell it to somebody. But of course, he got a job with Audi. Fantastic. He did really well. He got the job. And he went to work in a suit. And I thought, right, okay, he's got the job, but can he sell cars? You know, and that's when the nightmares started. Because I had this particular nightmare where there was a knock at the door. And I went and opened the door, and here was this guy standing. "Is Adam here?" I says, "No, he's gone." "Why?" "Huh!" He says, "I went to see him, you know. I wanted to buy an off-road vehicle. He said he'd get me one for £3,000. I said, "That's pretty cheap." "Yeah, he sold me a bloody canoe." That was one nightmare. But then, he must have done all right because he left home. He wanted to be out in his own place. And Adam wasn't a very tidy boy. He used to rent these houses and get his mum and I to go and tidy it up when he was due to leave. And we went one day to his house, was it Killingworth or somewhere? And we'd go in and tidy up, and there was money lying around and unclaimed scratch cards, which I took and claimed them, you know, for the petrol money. And then, as we were tidying up, we noticed these thank you cards. And we read them, and it was from grateful customers. These people were saying, "Thank you so much for making buying a car such a smooth transaction." And I said to Anne, I says, "He must be good at this." And then we saw the salary slips. And you can't help but look, can you? You know, you've just got to. The commission was good last month, you know. So, and I mean, there was the time when he turned up with the R8 to take his mum out for her birthday, you know, which was. It was a bit low, darling, wasn't it? But you know, anyway. He was obviously good at his job, and we were delighted. He was delighted when he got the job for Audi, and so were we, you know. And his attentions turned to Australia and New Zealand. And the rest is basically history. And if I can just turn my attention to Bex for a moment now. We've only just got to know you. You know, I mean, we've known you for 18 months on FaceTime, social media, but as of 3 weeks ago, we'd only really met you face to face. But you have created such an impression on Anne and I, and it's been fantastic to see you both at home as a family. And long may it continue. All right. You're welcome. But I've lost my track now. Yeah. There's one thing I would like to say. I'll get a little bit serious now, if I can, because, as you know, I'm now speaking as the stepfather. And for those of you that don't know, being a stepfather can be challenging, because you're taking on somebody else's child or children. And Adam and Abby lost their father when they were young. And I knew their father. I knew Peter. He was a very nice man. He was a fantastic teacher, a great person. And when he joined the church, a wonderful vicar. And he helped me at one point. He helped me get through a difficult time that I was having. And he got me through it. And you have to say those words, don't you? Peter, if I can do anything for you, I will. And of course, Peter became ill. He had cancer. And in the later stages of the cancer, he asked me to come and see him. And I went. And he was under the care of Macmillan nurses. And he said, Donald, I want to ask you something. It's going to be hard. You don't have to do it, but I'd like you to take care of my kids. I didn't know what to say. I said, you're kidding me. No, he says, I know you, and I just want you to look after them. And I didn't know then it was going to be a bigger thing. And he said to me, you don't have to give me your answer straight away, but I would appreciate it if you made a decision pretty quick. So I said, yeah, I can look after them. I'll look in now and again. And eventually, I did look after them. And it's been a joy. Even though you've been a right sod sometimes. And it's been a privilege to watch you both growing up. It's been a privilege for me to walk you down the aisle at your wedding. And it's been a privilege to see you being so successful. And now I can tick another box because you're taken care of. But, I haven't said half the things I want to say because we'd be here all night. But, you know, it's been a privilege to look after you. And it's been a privilege for you to ask me to be your best man. Because when you did ask me, I thought, has he not got any friends? But no, thank you so much. Thank you for this wonderful day. It's a day that Anne and I will never forget. And I'm pretty sure none of you will either, all right? It's nice now to be connected to another family, all right? The family tree will now get bigger and bigger. And so all that remains for me to say now, to get this over with, is to again ask you to stand with your glasses, and we shall give another toast to Mr. and Mrs. Heselton, Adam and Bex. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Where's the MC? Oh, you're there.
Big round of applause, everybody, for Don! Last but no least, let him say his thank yous. Are we all ready for Adam? Yeah, we are. You're going to have to join me over here, pal. Good luck. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your groom, Adam!
I can't do it off the cuff like them. That's taking me aback, that speech, by the way. But no, I really appreciate that, honestly, I really do. First of all, I wanted to say a huge thank you to everyone stood in front of us today. Just knowing how far people have travelled to be here for us is really humbling, and we'll be forever grateful. I especially wanted to say a special thank you to the Rainford family. They've welcomed me with open arms from the start. Their acceptance of me and the love they've shown me is something I will cherish and always remember. It's a good start. It didn't look the best on paper. I wasn't involved in the conversation when Bex first told them about me. But I could imagine Bex saying, "Mum, Dad, I've met this really nice man on the internet at 3 o'clock in the morning. He's a single dad from Newcastle. And he's a car salesman." Good. I know you've already heard today, but yeah, we did meet on eHarmony, which I was a bit ashamed to say at the start. A couple of my mates asked me how we met. I said, "You know me, I picked her up on the beach with some top chatter blinds." and that was it. So I told Bex this story a week later, and she forcibly advised me to go back and tell them the truth. So I went back to them with my tail between my legs the next day, and told them. And that was the start of Bex forcibly advising me to do things. And it hasn't changed since then. Now, unfortunately, one person who couldn't make it today was Bex's friend from Yorkshire. I didn't hear that conversation either, but I did hear a friend make a nice comment when we were home. She said, "You went all the way to Australia and came back with him." It's true. Needless to say, that friend isn't here today. She couldn't make it because she wasn't invited. I would also like to mention some people who I'm sure are with us, but we can't physically see them today. Bex's Nana Barbara, Auntie Tracy, and the Rains family, and Bex's grandparents. My Auntie Margaret, my Uncle Mac, my Grandad Pete, and my dad. They're really important to us and have all in some form shaped us who we are today. So I want them to know we are really thinking of them. So if we could all please raise a glass to mine and Bex's family in heaven. I feel we've got some amazing examples to look up to, especially on the top table. The OGs, you could call them, of relationships. Mum and Don, how long have you been together? 26 years. And you and Uncle Simon? It's amazing. And Vic and Annette? It's amazing. I think that needs a round of applause. Now, if everyone's expecting the rest of the speech to be upbeat and humorous, you're going to be severely disappointed. I'm allowed to be really soppy today, so that's what I'm going to do. If we'd all first agree how beautiful my wife looks. All right, that's enough about her. Rather than talking about my wife first, I'm going to talk about myself because I'm a car salesman. And that's what we do. But there is a reason for it, so bear with me. There are certain moments in your life which you will remember forever, and today is one for us. So I think it's the right thing to do to be totally honest and explain how I believe I ended up here today. I moved to Australia 10 years ago this year. When I moved to Australia, I had a lot of forced time on my own. When I lived in England before I moved here, I couldn't spend 2 minutes on my own. I absolutely hated my own company. And I remember one day walking around Sydney in the middle of the day, on my day off, thinking, who can I call in England? It's 2 a.m. in the morning, all my friends are asleep. So not by choice, I was forced into spending more time on my own and learn to enjoy time with Adam, which took a long time to enjoy. Moving to Australia improved my lifestyle and opportunities. However, the saying, you can take the man out of Newcastle, but you can't take Newcastle out of the man, was very true in my situation. Things had improved around me, lifestyle and materialistic-wise, but I hadn't improved internally. I feel I made slight improvements over the years, but not much. And looking back, I didn't really like the person that I was, and in turn how I was treating other people. And this led to me hitting rock bottom in 2020. I know this sounds depressing for a wedding speech, but it gets a bit better. Going back to that time, I just wanted to mention some people that really helped me out at that time. Where's Adam O'Dell? There he is, the good-looking Kiwi bloke at the back. Adam, obviously Sam, one of my groomsmen here, and Charlie, who's not here today. They really helped me out during this time, and I'm forever grateful. Just after this time, I read a quote which really inspired me. The quote said, "The definition of hell is getting to the end of your life and meeting the person you were meant to become." Now, I had heard that quote before, a few years before, but I didn't understand at the time. I thought it meant I needed to sell more cars than what I'd sold the week before. I really did. But this time, I really understand what it meant. And literally from that day of reading that quote, I spent a good deal of time working on myself and the person I thought that I was meant to be. I had an overall goal, but more importantly, a daily goal of what the person I wanted to be would do that day and how he would treat others and how he would like to be treated in return. And the goal was just to get to the end of the day, just being better and doing the right things. And day by day, I felt like I was getting better. It's not a coincidence that once I decided to do this, some really special people came into my life or returned into my life, and people who weren't good for me faded out of my life. I would sometimes go a year without talking to my family. Not for any reason, just time was going by really quick, and now we speak every Sunday without fail, and I really look forward to it. Especially my sister, because we really didn't speak for a long time, did we? And during this time we got a lot closer. Roger and Em, where's Em? Disappeared. All right. Roger, anyway. Roger and Em have always welcomed me into their home and offered me an amazing friendship, but I feel we became much closer during this time. Roger taught me something really extremely important, which is that to be successful in my career, I put 100% effort into it, which is why it was going well. But it's not a surprise that if you put 100% effort into a career and 0% into a relationship, your relationships aren't going to be very good. Roger taught me a balance between friendship, relationship, career, and family is crucial. I know he doesn't look very wise, but he's a wise man. Two other people who don't look very wise are my other groomsmen, Joe and Sam. They both lead by example. They're great family men, and I've never heard either of them say a bad word about their partners. I can't say that the other way around, but... Anyway, the reason I'm telling you this story and about these people is the crazy part about the story was, and the part I didn't expect was, that all the qualities I thought I needed to possess and was working on every day came to me in the form of a person. There's no prizes for guessing who that person is. Bex, when I wrote my list of things about the person I wanted to be, and I met you, I had to rewrite my list. I realised there were so many qualities missing from that list, qualities you possess in abundance. Anyone who's met my wife knows how special she is. She's the most kind-hearted, warm, beautiful person I've ever met. And I absolutely adore you, Bex. She has this energy and an aura around her I've never come close to meeting in anybody. I'll see her turn the most hard-nosed person into a puppy dog within 5 minutes of meeting them. She makes people feel instantly comfortable and be able to show their soft side. To the point where our dog escaped, ran to the neighbour's house, killed 3 of the neighbour's chickens, and then our neighbour called Bex the next day asking if Bex was all right. She's so easy to love and was so easy to fall in love with. As it was said before, I told Sam, after just a few days of knowing her, I was going to marry her. Bex and I could have met countless times 4 to 5 years before we did meet. We didn't have any mutual friends, but we've been to the same events. We even lived around the corner from each other, literally 2 streets away, for 2 years when we lived in Ashmore, and we never crossed paths. I told her if we did cross paths, she would remember me because she would have fancied me. But she disagrees with that. Anyway, there was a reason we didn't meet, and it's because I wasn't ready to appreciate the wonderful woman that you are. As I said earlier, after a few days of knowing Bex, I knew I was going to marry her. We met in January, went on holiday later that month, and whilst on that holiday, we booked another holiday to Europe together. This was all within 2 weeks of knowing each other. When we returned from holiday after 2 weeks of knowing Bex, I made plans to buy the ring. In the February, I bought the ring. In the May, I asked her dad for her hand in marriage, and in the June, I proposed. This sounds quick, but I knew, and so did she. When you know, you know. Bex, I always felt I moved to Australia to find me, which I did along the way, but that wasn't the reason. I moved to Australia to find you, and I'm so glad I did.
Big round of applause for Adam, everybody, your groom!